Hey YouTube, will America go silent? Will there be a run on the cans? This is something I wanted to talk about for a couple of days. I've had a couple of particular things happen to me that give me kind of a little bit of a perspective into this. And I've seen that a couple other people are starting to do videos about this, and I haven't watched it yet because I have my own ideas on this. So I wanted to get this out there now. So what they're calling the National Hearing Act or Hearing Protection Act just passed in the House. I don't like doing current events, still got to go to the Senate, not getting into all that. But things regarding silencers or suppressors, whatever you call them, have changed a lot over the last couple of years. This isn't the first time I've talked about this, won't probably be the last, but what happened was yesterday, I posted a video about a revolver I bought, and truth be told, when I bought that revolver, I also bought a new can. And I was alerted, I heard about this, but I was alerted by the owner of the FFL who, I talk with. I got his phone number, I'm a good customer, so, we chat a lot. And so I decided I want to go ahead and get a 30 cal can. I don't own a 30 cal can. So I wanted to get something to put on my Daniel Defense DD5, both my 6.5 Creedmoor and 308 applications. So I got a new Huxworks Ventum 30 cal can, paid for my tax stamp, paid for the can, so now I'm in purgatory. It's basically the 30 cal version of this. This is the Huxworks Ventum 5.56. This is my Mark 18, rendering this a double NFA item, and yes, it's completely legit. Whoever might be watching. But it got me thinking about, there has been a lot more people getting into the suppressor game over the last couple years, primarily due to efficiencies at the ATF and them cleaning up on the wait times. Now this particular can right here, this is a 5.56 or 223 can from Thompson Machine here in sunny Florida. By the way, welcome to my humble plantation down in sunny Florida. It's a beautiful day. We're getting ready to start the Sabbath, and it's a little lonely. I got my puppy dog. I'm batching it out for the weekend, so it's going to be a lonely Sabbath. But I'll spend time with my Father above and my puppy dog, so at least I got them to keep me company. But anyway, I digress. This is a Thompson Machine 5.56 can out of sunny Florida here, and I believe I waited 380 something odd days to take this home. This was a number of years ago. This was my first suppressor many years ago. 380 something days. Juxtapose that with this one, which I took home in less than a week just a few months ago. Again, this is the Huxworks Ventum. The Thompson, I have a particular adapter from Yankee Hill on one of my AR applications, so I can quick disconnect this, but I have this one direct threaded because the trend over the last couple of years is people are kind of going away from the quick disconnects and going more with direct thread, dedicated suppressors to guns, not a lot of malarkey with swapping them around. And I think that makes sense. This is a dedicated suppressor for this Mark 18. But it got me to thinking how so many more people are getting in the cans, have cans, suppressors, silencers, again, whatever you want to call them, because of the wait time alone. People are willing to pay the tax stamp. People are willing to wait anywhere from a week to a month, depending on if you do a single shot trust or whatever. Little nuances can affect your wait times. But what's going to happen if they actually repeal the tax stamp? You could predict they're not going to be able to keep these things on the shelf. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. I talked extensively with my FFL owner about this yesterday, and funnily enough, I went in earlier in the day and looked at the revolver, looked at the can. Hen hawed, they had two of those 30 cal Huxworks Ventum cans. I left, came back just 2 hours later, one of those Huxworks 30 cals was already sold. So they had one left, so bought it right then and there. I'm going to go ahead and secure my equipment ahead of time to make sure I get it. So, with that being said, if they do repeal the tax stamp, if the wait times do remain low like they are now, everybody's probably going to have a can, and they should. It's so different, the perspective in America, the land of the free, when over in Europe, these things are considered hearing devices or hearing protection devices, similar to earplugs, ear pro. And so we do it kind of wrong over here in America, from my perspective. So I'd like to see more cans. And just to give you a couple more examples here, this is the Huxworks Ventum, which we just talked about. This is the Thompson Machine 556 can. This here is the Odessa 9 for 9mm. I actually have the box for this too. And the cool thing about this one, it seems a little long, right? You can actually break this apart into a smaller silencer if need be. So this is a really cool option. The Odessa 9mm. I ran this on my Kel-Tec Sub 2000 9mm rifle, but I primarily use it on my Glock 19. So really nice little 9mm can. And another thing that I'm in the market for is a 22 long rifle can. This is my Ruger Mark IV. I guess it's the light version. You can see it's got the cutout there, the gold barrel. Really cool little setup. And I have this one affixed with a red dot there. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. This is a really cool little plinker, squirrel dispatcher, if you will, a little property gun. And we're having some problems with some possums out here, so who knows, maybe this will have the opportunity to interact with Mr. Possum out there doing some damage. So, just some examples, but the cans themselves are really great for protecting your hearing, alone from just pleasantness. I know the owner of the FFL, retired police officer, if you will, long time on the force, did his whole 20-something years. He said he doesn't even like being around guns anymore that aren't suppressed, and I can understand why. Once you get into the suppressed game, it's just a game changer. You're saving your hearing, you're saving some of that flash bang up front, and not to mention, not even getting into all the night vision stuff, right? You know, covering up your stuff, getting your cover from tab gear or something like that to reduce that heat signature. I don't really know a lot about that stuff. I do own night vision, but not something I'm really too worried about, as I don't really ever having to plan on using this stuff other than, you know, defense of the homestead. So that being said, we have dispatched some squirrels around here with 22 long rifle, and though we are in the woods and people fire guns out here all the time, it's not a big deal. It's nice to be able to save your hearing and maybe not annoy your neighbors. So y'all let me know what you think down in the comments section. If the Hearing Protection Act passes the Senate and it does go into play and people are able to buy their silencers and suppressors without having to go through the process of, well, I think you still have to go through the process. It would just negate the $200 tax penalty. I don't know about y'all, but I hate paying taxes. I, you know, pay a lot of taxes, guys. I'm in a tax bracket where I pay a lot. It's taken me several decades to get into this tax bracket. I didn't used to pay taxes when I was a younger man because I didn't make any money, but obviously start making money and the government is going to come take their chunk, and a little bit too much, in my opinion. But we'll just leave it there. Will America go silent? Will there be a run on the cans? Will there be more people getting into cans? I think the latter is definitely a good possibility. And with that, we got to get ready to say some particular words and light a candle, and life is good. Shalom.